Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a kind of a different video. I'm going to be doing a story time video. I have millions of stories. You guys will not believe what I've went through in my life at 18. But if you guys want to see any more of these videos, let me know below. I'm kind of just going to wing this video, but I thought it would be a good chill out, talk to my peeps type of video. So if you guys want to watch this video, please stay tuned. Okay guys, so this story time is going to take place around, I was about 13, 14 years old, and this was a time of my life where I was definitely going through a lot. I had a recent family death she was very close to me, so I had that going off of. My family was ripping apart. My parents got a divorce. I was definitely going through it, so I definitely stayed away from a lot of my friends. I didn't really have a lot at this time. And I had one friend that I would always hang out with. She always, it was that one friend that I would go to her house whenever, like I could talk to her about anything. We're going to call her Serenity for the sake of this video. So Serenity recently got a new house, and she would always come to my house because she lives so far away. But she recently moved back in with her mom, and her house was kind of close to mine. They just moved in, so like there was no couch. There was no, like, the mattresses were on the floor still. Like, it was they just moved in. So we were like, let's just go anyway. So we go to her house, and it feels very eerie. This house sits in, like, the back of, like, the woods. But, like, there's a dollar store, a bank, a little daycare that looks kind of, like, really old. But, like, it's so eerie still. Even though it's, like, off of an interstate, like, there's an interstate in front of it, it's so pushed back, and it looks so weird that, like, you don't even think it's in the middle of, like, this tiny little town. Like, it's just weird looking. We get there, and everything's still in boxes. There's not anyone there, really. And so we get there, and we go in the back room where her room was. So her room was, like, in the back of the house in, like, the porch area. So we go back there, and we're jumping on the mattresses, having a blast at 12 years old. And then all of a sudden, I get this weird wave of, like, depression, sadness, just eerie feeling. At the time, I'm like, well, maybe it's, like, my aunt dying, Maybe it's, like, the family tragedy that just happened with the death, like, I was just really depressed in general anyway, so I didn't think twice of it. But then Serenity was like, why don't we just leave the room? Because I got so sad, and I was like, leave the room? And she was like, yeah, let's just go to the living room. So we get up and we leave the room, and I kid you guys not, I felt fine when we left that room. I think we went outside and played. Like, I was fine. Like, nothing happened. I was fine. And so that was the first weird thing that happened in that house. So then, skipped a few weeks, maybe a month, I go back with my friend Serenity. So we get there again, because, she probably came from my house, I can't really recall. We go there again, and she, the house looks better. It has couches now, and mattresses are on the beds, frames, and it looks better. So she's like, let's go see my hamsters. I have hamsters now. And I'm like, oh, cool. Like, yeah, let's go see them. So they're in the porch area where her weird, creepy room was. So we go to the back of the house where the little hamster cage was, and we're looking. We look under the hay. We look under their little bridge thing that they can hide under. No hamsters, guys. They're not in the cage. And Serena's like, that's weird. So we run to the front of the house where her sister is. And for the sake of this video, I'm going to call her Milan. Milan was in the front of the house, and it was just us three. And we're like, Milan, did you take the hamsters out of the cage? And mind you, this girl is much older. Her sister's much older. Like, she was 16 or 17. We were like 12. So, like, we didn't really play with her. We were like, did you touch the hamsters? And she was like, no, I haven't even touched the hamsters. And we're like, okay, well, they're not in the cage. And she was like, did y'all check under the bridge and under the hay? We're like, yeah, we checked everywhere. So we kind of waited for a second and kind of were creeped out. And then we run to the back of the house. I kid you guys not. These hamsters were playing on their wheel. Were just chilling, like playing. Like they've been playing for like an hour. Like, they were fine. They look like they've been up and, like, not sleeping. Like, even if they were hiding under the hay, they were fine. They look like they've been up. So me and Serenity are like, what? Like, that was the second thing that happened. So this last thing is where I pretty much stopped going over there. I would tell her, like, I would tell Serenity, like, we're only staying at my house because of how creepy this was. So this night we stayed there. It was me, Serenity, and my cousin. We're going to call her Kaylee. So, and also her sister Milan. So her sister Milan's in her room, which is, like, in the middle of the house, and then there's, like, a little bathroom, and then, like, another room, and then Serena's room's in the back of the house by the porch. Well, her sister's Milan is in her room, which is by the bathroom, by the other room, and by the living room. So me, my cousin, and Serenity are in the living room making, like, a little lemonade stand sign, and we're coloring, we're, like, minding our own business, and then all of a sudden Milan comes running, I mean bolting, out of this room right behind us, like right behind, you know, where we're sitting, which is, you know, she ran through the bathroom, through that other room, and came out that way. So we're like, what's going on? And we stand up, and she looks so terrified, like she just seen, like, the scariest thing she's ever seen in her life. And we're like, Milan, what is going on? She's like, I need a minute. So she goes outside, and she, like, sits out there. And me and Serenity, my cousin's sitting on the floor because she didn't go over there a lot. So me and Serenity go outside, and we're like, Milan, what is going on? And she's like, did y'all, like, are y'all messing with me? Like, did y'all come in the other room and, like, stare at me? And we're like, no, why would we do that? We've been doing this poster in the living room. And she's like, I swear to God, I saw someone standing in the other room staring at my room. I got goosebumps, guys, just talking about this. And we just stopped for a second, and we're like, there's no way any of us would have reflected or kind of been in that, like, line of preview for her. Like, there's no way. And I was like, well, did it do anything? She was like, no, it was just standing at me, like, just staring at me. So that's the last time I've ever went to that house. I believe I went one more time, but we literally just hung out for a few hours. I didn't stay the night there because, you guys, this house, it was so eerie and weird, and you got the worst feeling in this house. So, eventually they move out. My friend Serenity and I are no longer friends. Not because of that, but because of other things. So I don't talk to her about it much anymore, but she always apparently seen crazy spirits. She used to draw stuff as kids, so she was kind of used to it. But me, like, I've never been in that much of, like, a moment where I was like, whoa, paranormal, what? Like, I was still a kid. Now, to today's date, this house stands still. Every property by this house is now closed, which I find very weird because in this town it was in, there was not a lot of stores. So these two stores that were really popular, everyone went to, closed. The Dollar General next to it closed. The bank next to it closed. And the little daycare does not look like it runs at all anymore. So it's just very weird to me that these things happened. If you guys ever had an experience like this, please let me know below because it really creeped me out. And to this day, I still think about that house. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. And I will see you guys next time.